For those of you who are fresh off of Marvel Future Fight and doesn't understand what Timeline Battle is basically where you duel with other users and acquire honor tokens. Now, these tokens can basically be used basically for anything. No, you can't get free crystals by these tokens. You can use honor crystals, honor card checks, everything you see in the honor token store. Now, there's a difference. I know you're looking like, what is chaos token though? For the people who don't know like what chaos token is is basically when you use villain seeds, but that's not what we're going to do right now. Right now, we're going to do timeline battles, which are sometimes my favorite, but it really shows, like, it really humbles you in knowing what your characters are at or what limit they, you know, have exceed or maybe could be better. So you can battle anybody across the world. As you can see, there are so many different languages, different types of name that you could possibly tell that it's from another country. Now, you can even battle against people who, your own alliance members. So if you're in an alliance like I am, like Rising, you know. If you're on an alliance like I am, Rising Suns, which I'm advertising right now on the screen, as you can see, you know, put a little bit advertisement so people can actually come into my alliance. We have a lot of people already. It's 30 out of 40, so 10 more people and we will be full. So make sure if you ever want to join me in my alliance, you know, just hit up the application status and we'll see if you are, you know, qualified to enter into this alliance or not. So that's something that you can do as a viewer of mine. Okay, now back to timeline battle. So basically, we're gonna see if with what I have, I can get at least 10 wins without failing. And each time I get the 10 wins, I have to use my star. I have to use only the things that are already picked out already for my team. Like for me, I have like this main team that I'm about to show you right now, which is, you can see I got the Medusa squad, which is also called the Merciful Queen, okay? And the bonus of it is inhuman royalty, movement speed, you see a critical rate, ignore defense, they're all there. Very, very, very good team. And I love my Medusa, as you can see. Here goes her stats. If for anybody who wants to see like how can you improve your Medusa, like it's not, my Medusa is not number 1 as you can see on the growth score, right up under the physical attack, physical defense, energy defense, and HP. But being in the thousands instead of being in the that, you really have to try to character gear, you know, improve that. Skills, make sure they're already up. Type, which as you can see, I haven't touched at all, which I should probably do. The ISOs, which are really important. I can vouch for my alliance leader. He told me, because I never used ISOs when I started in the beginning, and ever since I used it, my character has been super strong. It's like, it's insane. Custom gear, make sure you always have a custom gear. If you don't have this type of custom gear, then I guess get any type of custom gear. If you don't have this one, you see there's this one which I have equipped on my Hulk, which is the CTP of Transcendence, which is the max like level that you can get in a custom gear. So I would suggest that when you have custom gear and you see the CTP, equip that on any hero that you think will improve in it. As you can see on my Hulk, I put all attacks, ignore dodge, and it really increased my attacks, my physical attacks, compared to if I were to take it off. And I don't want to take it off now because it will really, like, you have to have crystals just to take it off. As you can see, I have 5,000 crystals. I want to save that until they come out with these new uniforms now. But right here, the way you take it, if you unequip, you see it's automatically $600. It really depends on what level your ISO is. Enough about that. Let's go back down to business. So this is my group in human ability. You saw it. That's a team bonus. It's really strong. I love it. Not so much in Alliance Conquest. Here I have my Deadpool, Captain America, Wolverine. Always have to have it posted up, and I'm using Super Soldier. Physical attack up there, max HP, recovery rate. You might be thinking like, hey, does this even matter when you're playing the game? Yes, it really does, especially if you're doing timeline battle, and it really helps during Alliance Conquest, because not only will you be facing off people who do the same exact thing as you, but equipping your heroes into a group that will increase the physical attack. If you like seriously just maxed out everything and you can't do any more, this is the best way to just elevate your heroes. Next up, number 3, you already know my Wakandans, Black Panther, Shuri, and Storm. My main person that I mostly use is Black Panther. Next is, oh yeah, let's see what they use. What's the call? Oh, Wakanda Forever, of course. All attack speed, max HP. And number 4, we have Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and Iron Man. My favorite character is Iron Man, but as you can see, I do not have it as a leader for a good reason, because I feel like if I put Doctor Strange, then he will give the energy attacks 30% increase, as you can see on the universal awareness right below the chat box, and ignore target's dodge rate is 20%. I really need that because my dodge rate is not so good for my speed characters, so it really helps me. And this one is using Titan Invasion. Ignore defense, and all attack. And as you can see, some of these teams are actually named after comic books or what the comic book title was. And I will show you what I mean by that, especially with the Medusa one, because there's this one that I never knew about, which was when she actually, I forgot the title, but there was one that she actually joined the bad guys. I don't know the implication of that. I wish I could buy if I find the comic book, I'll tell you. If you know it, why don't you just comment down below and tell me, because there's this one where she goes bad, and this is basically replicating Monsters Unleashed. It's actually replicating what was in the comic book when she turned bad, and this is the uniform she used. And if you're wondering, how did Medusa look like without a uniform? This is what she had. This is what she looked like without the uniform, if she was going bad or anything. But I just decided to equip this one because I feel like it's more powerful compared to the original one I have. To me, 18% elevation on my attack and 18% on my all defense. And movement speed, this one, because I'm legendary, as you can see in this corner where this tab thing is, it says I'm legendary, and it really affects the uniform. People might think it doesn't, but it does big time. And as you can see, it enhances the skill. It tells you right there, and you can, max it out. And it really depends on what uniform you have already in your other characters, then that will really affect how that percentage increase. I don't have all the uniforms, so I don't have all the options for the uniforms to increase my movement, but there is a lot. Like you see, I don't have Black Bolt. I have the latest one, Black Bolt, but not the middle, not the other uniform. I don't have Thor uniform yet, and I really do not have his Infinity War uniform that I really want to save my crystals for a later date. Now, of course, I love to call him Karnak Cat, and we're gonna go up against him and see if we can beat him today on this timeline battle. Let's get it. 76 70 Black Panther, 70 Iron Man. Who do you think gonna win? It's basically Black Panther against Black Panther. Iron Man against Storm. Yeah. Oh man. I have to change this out. No! I messed up. Oh man. Yes, this is a perfect example of why you should have everything leveled up to the max, especially if you're going up against a 70 person instead of, you know, just the average Joe. Let me see if I can change the character into my favorite, which is Medusa, which I was talking about her, so I just want to flaunt how good she is in this game. Next up is Lepida. And he has a Thanos. Oh man. One of Thanos' elites. And Captain America. Let's see if I can win against this one with my 8,000 Medusa ranked. She's up there, I know. The one thing I love about my Medusa is the new uniform that they equipped her with, which really helps, especially, whoa. I didn't know that he could do that because I don't have that one. Okay, I took that one out quick. Yeah, that's the whole thing about this character. It has literally 3 levels that you have to get through. And you see it already took out. Strangely enough, I didn't go up against his 3rd level. Thanos is really strong. Or it's just that Medusa is really strong. Okay, Black Bolt. This one I'm kind of worried about because the Black Bolt is not as strong. Ooh. Yeah, Captain America. It's a combat versus a blast. That is the reason why it does not work. You have to think of it like, I don't know if you heard about this cartoon show, Last Airbender, but water does not defeat Earth, okay? And fire does not defeat wind. It's the total opposite. Just like in regular nature, if something's burning, you do not put water on it. You try to cover it up with the emergency blanket. Don't quote me on that. If you see a fire, call 911. Okay. Now we're gonna do Mr. Nice Guy, which is also a team member. You can see he's class 2. Really good person. Captain America, he has a level 70. Thor, which is he really like increased on this season of updates. Really good. So I suggest, you know, body uniform. And Emma Frost, I do not have her, so I can't comment on whether she's good or not. Hopefully, she'll be on that new movie that's coming out. I don't know if you heard. I think it's Dark Phoenix, the one that the X-Men franchise is coming out, which is supposed to basically talk about the young Jane. And maybe they will have Emma Frost on there. Possibly. It's like a possibility. But me personally, I never seen, like, I don't know what the Phoenix is. All I know is the Phoenix is supposed to be an alien being that takes over Jean. And it's supposed to, like, it's just some type of alien. But I'm really not sure. I've seen comic book pictures on Google and everything, like, basically, you know, it passes between people, and even if you're a real X-Men, you probably seen X-Men Last Stand. And X-Men Last Stand, it had literally Jean going toe to toe with Professor X. And apparently my friend who also loves X-Men, she told me that the reason why she was even going up against Professor X is because she had the Dark Phoenix, which I don't know how she got it. I don't know how she got Dark Phoenix. That's something that they never explained in last X-Men. It's just that in last X-Men, it just talks about Jean going up against the X-Men the whole team, and she almost took out Professor X. Like, I mean, that movie was really great. It really was the first movie. Well, not necessarily the first movie. Yeah, it was the first movie that I ever saw and fell in love with the X-Men universe and was like, oh my gosh, wow, this is so, beautiful. You got Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry as Storm. I was so into it. It's very, very into it. Okay, we're going to see if my Wolverine is really good up against people. And we're going to try, instead of my Alliance members who are not on the list as many. I don't have only 5 members. There are a lot more. It's just that they haven't done timeline. We're going to try to go up against basically this other person whose last name is Banner, against a Hulk and a Thor and Iron Man. You can tell there's like a pattern when you're going on timeline battles, that the main people that people are using is basically Hulk, Thor, Captain America, because he really increased after that update. Wolverine and Doctor Strange. You'll see that people are starting to use the OG ones, because the OG ones are really good. I'm not saying that Black Widow is not good. It's just that people don't use speed a lot, like speed characters in timeline battles, because it's like it doesn't connect well when you're going up against a combat person. But if you're going up against a blast person, or maybe even Thor, if you have a really good Black Widow, it really helps. But that's the typical thing that I see most of the time when people are going against people. I can't even move. Oh my gosh. I didn't see. Okay, we're going to switch it out. My Deadpool. See if I can take out the. Wow. See Thor just all up in there. You can tell this person really maxed it out to all the way 70. As you can see, this is a group that I usually use, but not so much as my Medusa. That's why she was able to take out Thor. Or it's just that Inhumans are better than Asgardians. Don't quote me on that. It's not fully true, but my opinion. All right, that's all I have for today for the timeline battles. It was really interesting seeing that all the characters were mostly, they were mostly basically the whole OGs of Avengers. Maybe it has something to do with, maybe it actually has something to do with the movie coming out this April 26th. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just saying, April 26th, if you want to go out there and see Endgame, go see it. But make sure you definitely use the restroom before, because there's no intermissions, and that movie is 3 hours and 2 minutes. And I can't believe today I was looking on the Cheerio packet, and they were over here selling prices. Like, if you buy a ticket, they were going to take $13 off of it if you find basically 5 posters on the Cheerio on the back of the box. Okay, not the huge posters that you'd be buying possibly at Walmart. I'm talking about the posters that are at the back of the box, and you have to cut it out. And if you send it to Fandango, they will cut 15% off of the ticket. Well, that's all I have for you today. Next time I'm uploading will